We are living in strange and challenging times. The pandemic means that our human family is experiencing the same condition globally, but with hyperlocal differences depending on your social or economic circumstances. Now, under normal circumstances, those of us who have comfortable houses, access to internet, and other resources have a very different experience to those with poor living conditions, or people who do not have food security, and people who are not safe in their own homes. These differences are only magnified now in the time of COVID. There are also many changes that have been thrust upon us that we've had to concurrently get to grips with. The physical distancing and lockdowns have brought with it significant additional stresses into our lives. And so our capacity to adapt and adjust to these radical changes determine the impact on our well-being. Studies show that the people who are most resilient become aware of their thoughts, behaviors, and actions in times of crisis. This diagram shows different emotional zones to help us understand how we're behaving and responding. This is not a linear progression or a tool to judge yourself or others. It merely sheds light on what you're experiencing and offers you a chance to choose who you want to be and how you would like to show up or respond in times of crisis and change. It's fluid. You can be in all three zones in the space of an hour. I know I have been. The trick is to know where you're at and make the conscious effort to be more resourceful for yourself and for your loved ones. And by resourceful, I mean acting from a source of personal strength and love. When in the fear zone, you are overwhelmed by the uncertainty and things that are outside of your control. We tend to act irrationally to avoid the perceived danger. So you panic buy or get irritated really easily, or searching and sharing everything that you can find about COVID. In the learning zone, we give ourselves a buffer, a pause, a space to let go of what we cannot control and become more aware of how we can take responsibility for our thoughts and actions. In the growth zone, we accept that this is life. You're not in a waiting room or stuck in the in-between. This is life in its glorious, unpredictable, uncertain messiness. Life comes with struggle and disappointment, but we can choose where to place our attention and focus. The growth zone is about looking outward and seeing how you can take care of yourself so you can show up with strength and vigor, and how you can support others around you. Choosing to be optimistic is about accepting that good and bad things happen and remaining hopeful for the future anyway.